Hi everyone, it's Julie from sproutsandstems.com here. In today's video, I'm going to be making a book planter. So before we get into that, please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any new planty content from me. And if you'd like to further support my channel while also getting some nice perks, check out my Patreon or YouTube membership. Both are linked in the description and essentially the same, just different platforms. You get exclusive content, access to message me with plant questions or priority response to comments with your plant questions, early access to content, a shout out in my videos, and more awesome perks. And now we will get into the video. So I've been wanting to do a book planter for so long, and I just feel bad. I think a lot of tutorials that I looked up online, a lot of them said the same thing. They feel bad like cutting apart books. But I went to Goodwill and I got some cheap old used books, so I feel less bad about that. And let's see, I'm going to plant in this. I've been wanting to deconstruct this terrarium, and is there 2 different kinds of pothos in here? I can't tell. The pothos that are in here, they're already used to growing like relatively flat along the surface of this terrarium. Since this will be a relatively shallow planter, I think this is the perfect opportunity to do this. So what I have is 3 books. I basically just picked out books that I thought would look cool from the side. And also I wasn't sure if I wanted to maybe like stack them in any sort of way, but I think this is my first time making one of these, so I'm just going to keep it simple with 1 book. I wanted to use this book, but I really love the cover, so I think I'm going to save it for, I don't know, just another project at another time. This might look nice stacked like this. We'll see. So I'm going to use this one because it's nice and thick, and I thought it was kind of cool and vintage looking from the side. Also, just another idea. I'm not doing this today, but I did see some tutorials online that had like a hardcover, and then the planter was basically the cover stayed open like this, and maybe it had like a cool page on the inside like this, and the plant was in here. So I thought that looked cool, but today I'm just going to be doing this. Supplies, we have book. This was $2 at Goodwill. Plant crafting knife, and please use caution while using it. And I have a cutting board that I'm going to cut on. And then I think what I'm going to do, the tutorials mentioned lining the inside with parchment paper or foil or plastic bags to keep the plant and moisture contained. So I think I will use plastic bags and plastic wrap for that. Okay, so the first step is to draw your square that you're going to cut out of the book, or rectangle or whatever. Quadrilateral. Yeah, I'm just eyeballing it. Let's see. That's about 1 1/4 inches in. So then we'll do that 1 1/4 inches in. The thing is, I don't want it to be too big because I want to actually like see a little bit of the book cover. I did 1 1/4 inch in on all 4 sides, and I just eyeballed it. So that is what we will do. Now what I'm going to do is just cut in a few pages at a time with this. I don't want to do anything crazy and like strain myself while I'm using a sharp tool. So a few pages at a time, probably until I get to maybe like 3/4 of the way down, maybe. We'll see. We're going to see as we go. So I'll show you a few pages of how I'm doing it, and then I'll probably do the rest off camera because I think it's going to take a while. Okay, so I have the cover cut out, and now I'm going to use that guiding line and just the cover as a guide if I need it to cut through and do the remaining pages. And I will come back when it's done. I'm just going to do a few pages at a time, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I did this. Let me show you. I did about that much, and I think that's going to be good because, again, as I said, the plant that I'm putting in here is used to growing in kind of a flat area, so I think it should work pretty perfectly in here. And as I was cutting all these holes, this whole part came off, so I'm going to glue it back together and then probably just glue some of these pages like shut just so they're not, flopping in the breeze. And then we'll get planting. And I'm just using Mod Podge. It's not like a waterproof thing or anything. I don't plan on this book getting wet at all. I'm gonna line it with like 3 layers of plastic before I put the plant in. So I'm not too worried about like waterproofing versus not waterproofing. And we want that to line up. This is now all glued. It's not perfect. I might try to go back and perfect it when I'm all done, but I'm pretty happy with how it's looking for my first ever book planter. And then I also just glued around here. It's still drying in some places just to keep it like relatively shut. Now I'm going to line this cutout with just a ton of plastic wrap and plastic bags, and then I'll put the plant inside. So I'm just going to put some glue inside. And I did a little double layer with this. So now I'm just going to push it in like that. Maybe I'll just do a bunch of plastic wrap layers like this because it molds so easily to the book. I was going to use plastic bags too because they're a little bit like stronger and thicker than this cling wrap that I have. But I think I might just put in like a ton of layers of this, and then I can easily just like cut around. Okay, I like this idea. So this is what I have so far. I'm going to put in a few more layers and then cut off the excess. Okay, I'm back again. Once again, for I think this is day 3 that I've been filming this. So what I just did was glue a bunch of layers of plastic wrap into this cutout. I think there's like 6 or 8 layers in here. And then I went along the edges with these little sewing scissors and just kind of like cut the excess off along the edges. And I know I keep going back and forth, but let's be real, I always do that when I'm making these projects because it's usually like the first time I'm executing an idea. But I am going to use a plastic bag in here in addition to the plastic wrap. It'll make just like a nice little container for the plant. So this is just a sandwich bag. I just cut it like in half so that it wasn't super long, and then I folded it down. And now what I'm going to do is take the pothos cuttings out of here and then transfer it into here. just gonna take this whole shell out of here. Okay, so there's a dead little tiny spider plant, and I believe this is a pearls and jade cutting, and then this is the enjoy cutting. I'm not sure if I'm going to put all in here. Okay, I think I'm going to leave this in the shell because it's growing like so cute and perfectly in here. I don't want to like rip it out. Maybe I'll put that in the greenhouse cabinet or something, but I'm just going to put this aside for now. And okay, this is perfect. So it's already used to growing relatively flat. So the root system, it's not a very large root system. And instead of growing down, they've kind of all just spread out. So, oops, I didn't need to put that in there just yet. So this is going to be a perfect candidate for planting in a shallow book planter. Oh, and it's used to not having drainage because there is no drainage in this terrarium. So, ooh, and then do you see all these big aerial roots? Maybe I can get them eventually to kind of plant themselves in there. Okay, cool. I want to work with the medium that the plant is already used to growing in. So I'm going to take some of the leftover sphagnum moss from here and then just use a little bit of potting mix. Okay, so we have a nice little mixture of sphagnum and coir, and going to this is going to be kind of tricky with this bag. Going to use a couple of rocks from the terrarium just to help keep things in place. Here is a view of what I'm doing. So I'm putting a few rocks in the center and then in the corners, just little like river rocks or pebbles from the terrarium, just to help things kind of like stay in its shape. And then of course I'm going to either cut down or significantly fold down this plastic bag. Okay, 4 corners with rocks, a few rocks in the middle. Project supervisor. I've got a bobby pin and I'm using it to kind of secure the stem where I want it to go so it doesn't keep flopping over as I'm trying to, like, you know, do things. I'm just going to cut it down a little bit, like an inch or so. This mess that you see here is Spanish moss, and it's currently alive, or most of it is live, but this I just took off a bundle of Spanish moss that I have back there, and I'm going to use it to cover some of like the plastic ugly parts. And this is not Spanish moss, and I'm going to stress about keeping alive. It's just going to be like pretty and it'll dry up eventually, and that's fine. And also this will help keep the moisture in since it's so shallow, so hopefully I won't be having to water it like every 2 seconds. So yeah, should work out pretty nice. Okay, the plastic is mostly all covered, So I'm gonna do some final finishing touches, clean it off, and then I'll show you a better view so you can see the finished project. Super cute, if I do say so myself. I definitely want to make more. We'll see how long this lasts. You know what I was thinking? It would be really cute if I could like find a way to do this, but have it be like mounted on a wall. I think I could do that. Might have to use like some chicken wire in here to keep everything contained, but I see that as being doable. Let me know what you guys think. Giselle is being crazy. Now I have to figure out where to put it. Cute, cute, cute. So I hope this inspires you to do a fun plant project. I love doing unique, kind of whimsical plant projects, and a book planter has always been on my list, so I'm glad I finally did it. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. That's it for today. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any new planty content. Give this video a like if you liked it. And I will see you guys next time. That's cute.